He needed to repair the signal transmitter. Just as the woman was talking to her crewmates, Calvin burst out of the cooling vent. Her crewmates on the space station immediately asked what was happening. They saw the octopus like Calvin appear and wrap itself tightly around the astronaut. It spotted the coolant inside her spacesuit and began tearing at it with all its might. Soon, the coolant seeped into her helmet. If she did not return to the cabin immediately, she would die in space. The woman risked her life to unfasten her safety tether and decided to jump directly onto the hatch. Fortunately, she managed to climb onto the hatch. Just as her teammates were about to open the door, she discovered it was already filled with liquid, and Calvin was targeting the space station. At that moment, to prevent endangering the others, she decided to take Calvin down with her and drifted off into space with it. Her teammates inside the spacecraft were heartbroken. Suddenly, Calvin returned once more. It tried to crawl inside through the exhaust port. The astronauts devised a plan to deal with it. The moment the monster reached the exhaust port, they would fire up the spacecraft's engines to burn it to death. But they had underestimated Calvin's speed, wasting fuel for nothing. Meanwhile, the space station had already strayed from Earth's orbit and would soon plunge into the atmosphere along with Calvin. Once it entered Earth's atmosphere, people would face certain death. The scientists suddenly realized something. They had discovered it on Mars, and at that time, it was merely a single-celled organism. Since it arrived at the space station and showed an interest in water sources, this indicated that it was also a carbon-based life form. So several of them prepared to lock themselves in a compartment and vent all the oxygen from the other compartments. This would force it to suffocate to death. The crew members sprang into action immediately. But just then, the man discovered something in the compartment, but he did not report it to his teammates. By the time they found him, he had already lost consciousness. One of the crew members sensed something was wrong. He rushed over to check on him. Just as he was unbuttoning his shirt, he saw Calvin coiled around his leg, sucking his blood. The panicked captain immediately shocked it with an electric stun gun, but it was too late. It had already evolved into its full form. Its size had grown several times larger. Seeing this, the crew members hurriedly fled.